Hey everybody, welcome! This is Jackson. This is a character that I made in Blender. I want to show you a little bit about how I made some of his clothes, and also how I rigged them to the character mesh, to the armature. Okay, so let's just start off by taking a look at my outliner over here. This is my character file for Jackson, and one thing that I've been doing is, inside the actual collection that I link in everywhere that he's needed, I have another collection called Clothing, and this is where I store all of his clothing, as well as obviously his rig that contains his character mesh, his eyes, all that stuff. But look inside of Clothing. In there I have a bunch of other collections that I sort of use as like a checklist for dressing my character, because it's just so non-destructive. It just melts my heart. Look at this. You know, I can just uncheck clothes I want to have on or I don't want at any given time. You know, I have little flip-flops on the dude, some jeans. But you can build out this whole library of clothes, and your character's essentially always wearing them, all of his clothes. You just decide which ones you want to show, and I love doing it. Let's jump in. We have this shirt here, and I'm going to go ahead, I'll turn it off. I will uncheck the shirt. I'll uncheck this undershirt, and I will start right on the character's mesh. Actually, let's just uncheck all the clothes for now. What's great about box modeling a character, the way I do, is that it pretty much comes topologize. I don't have to like re-topologize or anything as long as I box model properly. So I have all this nice edge flow, and it kind of just sort of starts out in a shape that would be useful for clothing. For example, you see all the way the edges flow around here, like the neck of a shirt, or they flow around his arms like the edge of a shirt. It's perfect for that. So if I go into the front view and I use face selection, I'll select the end of his skin. So like his skin would come down, and this might be the last bit of skin here, and I'll hide it. And I'll do that for every other edge. So say his shirt would come all the way on this side, and right there is going to be the first bit of skin you'll see. I'll hide that. Same thing over here, I'll hide that. So now to make the selection super easy, since I just hid those faces, I can just hover over the shirt and hit L, and I've selected what's going to be my shirt, or the start of it. And I can duplicate that with Shift D, and I will bring that into its own object. And to do that, I just hit P to bring up the separate menu, and it gives us a number of options on how to separate, but for now we're just going to separate by selection. We're still in the characters mesh, so I'm going to go ahead and do Alt-H to bring back all those faces we hid, and then go back into object mode now and just select this new thing we made, this shirt. And I'm just going to get rid of all the stuff it has on, because right now Blender kind of thinks it's another character in the way it has all this stuff still on it. So I'll get rid of the rig, I'll delete the collision on it. In the vertex groups, I'll just hit this down arrow, and I'll delete all groups. Now there's no more group data. And the last thing I want to do is I just want to delete all the materials on this, because I don't want it to look like skin either. So we have this this shirt, right? Let's go into edit mode and just take a look. If I scale everything up with Alt-S, I'll shrink or fatten, it's called. I can just sort of bring it away from the body a little bit, just to give it some breathing room. And we now have a shirt mesh. I had made this Gucci shirt that's sort of unbuttoned and opened in the front, and it has this collar, and that's going to play really nicely with this undershirt. So for now, I'll just turn off the overshirt here, and again, I'm gonna keep my undershirt exposed just so I can work with it a little bit. So Alt-H, I'll bring this back, and I will go into edit mode on this shirt and just delete these front faces. Delete. Perfect. So now we're kind of looking at what's happening underneath here. We want to just keep this undershirt so we can work with it, because you know, if we don't see what's going on with the undershirt, we can be making our mesh here, making our shirt, and then turn it back on and realize, oh, that's not working at all. That's directly colliding with our undershirt. We don't want that. So I'm going to keep it on, and I'll work around it just so I know what's happening. Another thing I want to do is I'm going to hop on over to the side view here, or the front view, excuse me, and delete half the mesh, because I want to work with a mirror modifier. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. If you want to, you don't have to, but, you know, pop a mirror modifier before the subdivision, and just keep running. I'm going to extrude this top little bit of vertices around the neck, and just try to build out a collar around the neck. Sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, but, you know, just play with it. Whoops. Play with it, get something you like. Just sort of start to get it into a collar shape you like. Sometimes it's even nice to throw another little edge loop right there in the middle, and then just sort of bring it in to sort of depress the collar a little bit. It helps make the collar and shirt feel aged, I feel. Sometimes, you know, you have a shirt and then it just feels more flimsy whenever this collar gets pulled in a little bit, almost concave-like. Don't be afraid to actually spend some time and make the mesh sit right the way you like it, because if you see this up close, you're gonna be happy that you put the time into. You know, it's an investment, really. It's your time in a 3D model. The more time you invest in the model, the more you get out of it in the long run. So don't be afraid to spend more than 10 minutes on something. It looks really bland right now, so there's a couple of things we can do to really make the shirt pop. That's just building in the seams in the shirt. That's pretty simple to do, so hop on over to edit mode. And I like just finding where would have the tailor, whoever made this shirt, where would have they cut this and made it. And I like to just grab an edge and do Control B. Let me put on these Screencast keys real quick. I'll just do Control B, and that way I can bevel this out a little bit, and I'll just roll up on the wheel one time, and if you just scale in this middle bit here, you can get a nice little pinch. That didn't work really how I wanted it to. I think my bevel was too big. Yeah. Just a little bevel goes a long way. It's nice to have it on the edge of the sleeves, because it just gives your sleeves like the feeling like they weren't just cut off abruptly. It's almost like, oh yeah, that's supposed to be there. I'll just put another little seam right in here and grab the middle one and scale it in just a hair. And look at that. It just puts a nice little seam in your shirt, and it looks like it was made to be that way. And that's a quick and easy trick just to get a nicer looking shirt. It's time to rig this shirt up, and it's time to put it on the character. Now, there's a number of ways to do this. You know, you can either straight up automatic, you can do automatic weights with parenting to the rig, or some people will use shrink wrap modifiers. One method I found that works really well is doing a data transfer. And a lot of people probably don't know about a data transfer, but the simple answer is that I've already rigged up my character mesh right here, and all of its vertices, they have vertex weight built into all of these. So why would I try to re-rig this and repaint this shirt whenever the data is right below it? What if I can just project that data onto the shirt, take the shirt first, and I shift select my character mesh. I can do Control L, and that brings up this fancy little link and transfer data panel here, and I can look through everything. This panel is so good for, like, if you want to just send data from one thing to the other, right? Say you have a bunch of stuff, and it's like, I want all these things to have that material, or like, I want all these things here to like take the modifier stack from that object. You can just transfer data between objects, and it's really handy. And in this case, we're going to just transfer some mesh data, which is the second one from the bottom. So I'll click that, and then we're presented with this fine window down here, and we can choose the data type we'd like, which is vertex groups. We want to send the vertex groups. We want to create vertex groups, create new data, so that needs to be checked. Most of these are already set up as we need them. We want to do it by the nearest vertex. Basically what this is saying is, all right, look at the vertex, and then just find the closest vertex to it, and then just take all that data. A good example is sort of like basketball, like 5-on-5 basketball, and everyone's sort of like, all right, everyone gets someone, like I got you, and everyone points to someone, and they sort of match up, and you match up, and you take someone that's the closest to your size. So basically all the vertices on the shirt, find a buddy vertex over on the character mesh, and say, okay, I'm going to look at the information you have, and I want all your vertex group information. And that's what nearest vertex is doing. And the last thing we have to do is just change it from active layer. We just want to get all the layers. And then if you can just click off. It's done now. And if we click back on this has now copied all the vertex data over here. However, it's still not going to move because we don't have an armature set yet. So we have to stick with it, grab our shirt here, go back to our modifiers tab, and we will add an armature. And and I can put this after the mirror here, and I will set this to the rig, and then it should just work now. If I grab my character rig and I start moving stuff around, you can see here, it moves it pretty good. But let me just change this material for a second just to sort of show you. Let me do shirt 2. Perfect. As I start moving this around, it works pretty good for the most part, but sometimes when you push it to extremes, well, the character starts to clip through the shirt, and that's exactly what we wanted to avoid. And it's super frustrating when this happens because you just want it to work. And the good answer is there's a very simple fix for this. It is so critical that everything in the modifier stack is in order, because the modifier stack is just a list of instructions. You know what I mean? Like, it's a list of instructions that if one thing gets out of place, it could change the end result significantly. So we have to look at the order here. And on our character, we have the rig first, and then we have our subdivision, but we also have this preserve volume thing turned on here. And that's the same for all these other clothing that work, right? We have the armature first, preserve volume. But we click on this shirt. Now, I already moved the armature, but previously it was outside of the subdivision, and that was even worse. But you can see how just the stack, the order changes this, right? Like, look at that. It subdivides it, but the order changes it. So all this to say, the order is important. We need to preserve the volume. Bam. That's simple. That's simple. And now it's just the clothes are to a T following the same rules that the body's following when it comes to listening to the armature. Or how does the rig deform the body? There's a list of rules in the modifier stack, essentially, and it does all these to a T. And if we copy those, in theory, to a T, then it should do essentially the same thing, and we get a pretty good result. Now, we're still going to get some issues sometimes, and that could be because, well, you know, this mesh is just so close to it. Like, look, if I go in here, it's really, really close. Like, let's just cheat it a little bit and bring it back, and then we fixed it. And you will have to just go through and tweak your mesh a little bit. Just make sure it's working the way you want it to. And you know, give your character a stress test. Really push it to the limits and see, you know, what's gonna break your mesh. And sometimes it's just helpful to do that and go into edit mode and give it a little tweak. You know what I mean? Go back and fix the problem. Now that the shirt's ready to go, I can hit F2. Name this as shirt 4. This is the 4th shirt for this character, and I will move that to Jackson. Clothing. I'll make a new collection. I'll call this shirt 4, and bam, it's in there. And again, it's such a non-destructive workflow to have clothes sort of in their own little container up here and just checkbox them on or off, and it just works so well. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments if I glossed over anything, or if you have any questions. Happy to answer them. Also, send me your work on Instagram. Follow me over there. Send me your messages. Send me your work. Tag me in it. I love seeing everything you guys make. So, yeah, subscribe. We'll talk soon.